Okay, so I am going to work with Wei, and we're going to present human design as it would pertain to how we as astrologers normally read a chart, and then learning how that will translate from human design so that we'll be able to use it for ourselves and everybody else if we want to. So chart reading basics for astrologers. We're going to focus on Wei's chart and get started on that. So human design, the jovianarchive.com is probably the most fulsome resource for learning your basics on human design. It is a system which is a synthesis of ancient and modern sciences, has been proven to be very valuable for human understanding. And it can enhance your life because it teaches you to understand your energy and how you're supposed to move through the world. Ra-uru-hu, I always say it fast. Ra-uru-hu is the man who received this information. He kind of downloaded it, similar to Jeffrey Wolf Green, had basically a download over a short period of time, came out and shared it with the world, and it's a beautiful thing. I call it energetic astrology. It combines astrology, the chakras, the I Ching, the Kabbalah, human genetics, physics, and physiology. So it all ties together so that we can understand how that works. Amanda Leonardo did a beautiful job about a month ago, maybe a little more, of explaining the mechanics and such of how it works, and presented some of us with, how we feed into this design. I definitely recommend watching what she put together, and I've got the link right here for everybody to do that. I'm only going to be touching on the basics. What I'm really going to do is just kind of run a quick shot over the basics, and then we're going to put it into how that works for Wei in particular, kind of get deeper into Wei's chart. Yeah, I like to include a little bit of everything when I read. A chart will tell me how to read it when I come into reading any chart in any way. And sometimes I say, I'm going to add the human design in. I'll always start with my standard astrology using the porphyry houses. That's the way I do it. But I really like to, with some charts, really call to me to add the human design because it adds the extra layers. So this is the basic, what they call Rave mandala. And we went over this with Amanda, but I do want to touch on it again and explain a couple of other things. These are the what they call the trigrams of the I Ching. And this is surrounding, can everybody see my my pointer going around here? Is that clear?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Good. So this starts with the first gate over here, but this is not our initiating gate. It's just gate number 1, not to be confused with the very first step, as it were. We can see 0 Aries is over here, and just pointing the arrow to that. So 0 Aries is over here, but that's not even the first step of this. As you might think, you could find the second gate opposite it, and we do here. So there that is, and that's from Scorpio to Taurus. It doesn't follow the same pattern all the way around, though. We've got the 3rd gate right here and the 4th gate right there. So I don't want anybody to assume that this should be, easy to find where 1, 2, 3, and 4 are. The initiating gate, it is actually called the gate of initiation, is gate 41 right here. And that can be found actually right here down in the root center, or, that would equate to the root chakra. And it's right here at gate 41. So this is gate 1 in the body graph. And this is what, again, we call the Rave mandala. It combines those two together. There are 64 gates for the 360 degrees of the zodiac, and we can take 360 divided by 64, and we can see that each gate would be 5 degrees plus 37.5 minutes. For ease and simplicity, we break it down over here in this beautiful little chart, very handy, to 3 degrees 38 minutes, or 5 degrees 38 minutes. This lays it out very nicely, and if anyone has their snipping tool up, I recommend snipping that. I have put the link at the end of our presentation here, a lot of links because there's a lot of valuable information out there. But snip this out if you have interest. It is so cool. Very easy as a reference. So, like I said, 5 degrees, 37.5 minutes for each. And then within each gate are 6 lines. So you got the six lines, and if you take that, within each gate, the 6 lines divide the 5.625 divided by the 6 lines, you're going to get just under 1 degree. It's 56 minutes and a quarter. So that will help you when you're looking at your stuff if you really want to do it by hand, but this beautiful chart was perfect for it. So this right here breaks down how the body graph divides into the centers and what the centers are called: the head center, the ajna center, throat, the G center, the sacral center, and which centers are highlighted determines the type that you follow. So we're going to go into, bear with me, we're going to go into what the centers cover just briefly. I know that Amanda covered this, but going a little bit deeper, the head center is a pressure center. There are 2, the head center and the root center provide pressure for the person experiencing how they're filled in, how they're defined. The head center equates to physically the pineal gland, and it provides for us mental pressure, also inspiration. So we're pressed, we're inspired to create something, or we're pressed into anxiety. Alternatively, depends on who we are and how we experience it. With the Ajna Center, it is our awareness center. There are a couple of others, and that it has the pituitary gland as its physical focus. It rules conceptualization, uncertainty, ideas, mental awareness. And the throat center is important for getting anything done. It's where we manifest. So that would be the thyroid gland, and it rules communication, manifestation, action, and it's a convergence area. Now, the G center in the middle here, I don't know how to equate that to a chakra, but probably somebody else does who's better versed in the chakras. But here it's defined as the identity. It rules the liver and blood, and it's also called the magnetic monopole. This is your attractor here, is what I've read. I don't have a whole lot further than that. I am investigating, just like everybody else. And this center rules your higher self, but also your identity. It rules the love that you have to give and the direction you want to go. Now your ego center, your heart center, which I've never in any other system heard those put together as heart and ego. It's one or the other usually, but maybe I just haven't learned enough. So it's a motor center, a driver. And it, of course, has the heart, the thymus, the gallbladder, and that system, and the stomach. And it will rule your ego, your capacity for willpower, and your material reality. And then the sacral center, right here in the middle, the red, this is a motor center as well, and it holds your reproductive organs. It is the life force, power, response, sexuality, vitality, love, and death. And the solar plexus center is another motor. And that motor centers, when they're combined to the throat, the throat center, they allow you power to do, achieve, create. It will better define that for you as a person. So with the solar plexus center, you have it's an awareness center and a motor center, and that's going through a morphing change in 2027. In 2027, we went from a 7-centered body graph to a 9-centered body graph. And that was moving when Uranus was discovered. So some awareness, some consciousness was lit up for us. So that's cool. Nerves, kidneys, pancreas, prostate. It rules our emotional intelligence, our spirituality, feelings, and nervousness. Go figure. The splenic center was where we were at previously, and this is also an awareness center. It rules lymphatic system and the spleen, obviously, or maybe not so obviously, but yes, it does. And intuition, instinct, fear, survival. It's our survival mechanism based on fear. Don't go out in the dark because that's where the monsters are, that kind of thing. Survival and your immune system, which will help you survive. So these kind of things make sense, right? And the root center is, like I said, a motor and a pressure center. It does rule your adrenal system. And of course, that will manifest in adrenaline and more survival and your capacity to handle stress or depression. And it is the basis of your Kundalini. Again, bear with me. So whether these centers are defined or undefined, defined would also be called fixed. And that is your energy coming and manifesting into a center. When they're undefined or open, they're not colored in, they are white when you're looking at your own body graph, which you can find at the Jovian Archive. I strongly recommend a visit there. When they're open or white, they're open to conditioning from others. So the pressure, the conditioning, the input of others, most particularly and usually, from our childhood, parents, family, teachers, what have you, as you're growing, will condition you to certain things. And, well, we'll cover a little bit more of that for Wei. I just wanted to kind of run a basis. Type and authority are specific and discrete to themselves and determined by which centers are defined or undefined. And definition is determined when a gate is open or filled by a planet. So we'll get to that now. Oh, dear Lord. It's always an adventure. So here we have Wei's chart in particular, specifically, and we can see, here's gate 1 again. We can see that she has her north node for her design within gate 1, and that is right here within the G center, identity. And just moving forward on this, probably the biggest part that we would start with, just as generally doing our astrology, we start with where's your sun? We want to know where your sun is. And that's what this system bases off of as well. We see her natal sun right here in gate 28, conjoined with Pluto. And opposing that is the earth right here. Always the earth in positioning is always opposite the sun. Some know that, some don't, but that's always the place. When we're here, the sun is opposite from us. And so that creates an opposition in this chart as well as in a standard astrological chart. Now here, human design is based on basically your soul coming into your body 88 days before you're born. 88 days, 88 degrees of the sun would put that at a square. Everybody's got a square, an incarnation cross, which would be a grand cross in the chart. And Wei's is no different in that. Here is her design sun in Leo. My recollection is that that is 7 degrees Leo in the 33rd gate here. And right here, and then the Earth, of course, opposite in the 19th gate. That would be 7 Aquarius. So just moving forward off of that, we've got her chart brought smaller here so that we can show that to the body graph on the inside here, broken down showing the planets on either side as they fit. This is the natal side right here. And this is the design side as the astrology would show it, the zodiac laid out 88 days prior to birth. You will find that at mybodygraphs.com. The link is at the bottom, I think it's .com, and you'll find the exact time and date for yourself, and you'll be able to draw that up and see the chart. It's super cool. So this is where all of her gates are lit up. You can see they're colored here. And this is a larger version of that, recalling gate 1 right here. And here is her sun, or I don't know how to stop that from happening, I'm sorry. But there's her sun here. Here's her sun in the Rave mandala, at the gate that it involves, the 28th gate. And because she has this center filled in here, and it's filled in because it's joined by a channel up here, she's a generator. She has her sacral filled in, so she's a generator, and the sacral is her authority. So as a generator, her lines, this is her incarnation cross here, and that's showing down here as a juxtaposition cross, a cross of risks. Again, the 28th gate is where her sun is, and then her earth is at the 27th gate, opposite. Squared is her 33rd gate, housed by her sun by design, and the 19th gate by her earth by design. So this creates a grand cross for everyone. Everyone has a grand cross for their incarnation cross, and hers is the cross of risks, which is pretty intriguing. Here's another arrow to show where the 28th gate is in her splenic center. And let's move forward. Now, to go into explaining definition, she has a split definition, and the reason why is because this grouping is joined together. We have this channel joining this to this, and we have this channel right here joining the splenic to the G center. They're separate. This does not complete, and that does not complete. We do have another definition up here, so that's why it's called a split definition. You can see some others will have a triple split definition, and some will have no definition. That would be a reflector, and that would be our Amanda Leonardo. Okay, so describing her juxtaposition cross of risks. You know what, I want to go back. Does anybody have questions on that so far? Is everything seeming clear so far? Super cool. I'm not seeing any questions. Am I wrong? Okay, great. I'm moving along. And there it is, the juxtaposition cross of risks involving her natal sun, her natal earth, her human design, what we would just call her design sun, and her design earth. The energy of the cross is that of the gambler, willing and driven to take risks just for the thrill of it. Through your risks, you're seeking purpose as well as the rush. Follow the human design type, which is generator, and strategy, which is to respond. And be sure the things you bet heavily on are what you are passionate about. This strategy is how your success is guaranteed. So with this cross, the juxtaposition is using the 4th line of the I Ching and the 1st line as well, creating this incarnation cross. It's described here, it says both the left angle and juxtaposition have a hexagram placement on the wheel that is not at right angles. And with that, there's a shift of 1 hexagram so that the personality and design sun and earth distances are no longer 16 hexagrams apart, but are 15 and 17 hexagram distances. The hexagrams are the trigrams I was talking about. So obviously not tri, hex for the 6. Hello. The hexagram is created by joining the 2 trigrams, the first 3 and the second 3 lines, and they have distinct differences as well. That's for another group. The 4-1 profile is the point in which that shifting through the 88 degrees actually changes the hexagram instead of the line. This is the beginning of the left angle. Now, 4-1s are rare. It's only the last 13% of the personality sun in the 4th line. The 4-1s are the only people that have a fixed fate, and Wei can attest to this, feeling like this is her path, she's on it, and she has to do it. It's an interesting thing. So they are the 2 foundations that are there in the structure of the hexagram. So again, as I was explaining, we've got 2 trigrams creating the hexagram. She's the 4th line and 1st line. When you have that, you know you're the foundation on both of these trigrams. It's somewhat akin to saying fixed, if that's a better explanation. I think that's more clear. Fixed, obviously. So kind of like saying she's of the fixed signs, Taurus, Saturn, Aquarius, Leo. The 1st line is also known as the investigator, and we know, those of us who know Wei know that she is an investigator, driven for detail. She really investigates everything she looks into. She's an avid learner. So this is why the 1st line person often asks a lot of questions, and through investigating and asking questions, the 1st line builds up a platform on which they can base their actions. Most 1st lines who are going to work with people, whether one-on-one or as a teacher, which is Wei's total talent and focus, will take multiple classes or workshops until they feel the foundation is complete. And part of this understanding is to feel comfortable. As fixed people, we understand that we're out of our comfort zone a lot of times when things are changing too much. I know I feel that way, and I'm all fixed. So finding the comfort level is important, and getting a lot of detail to try to get that comfort level is important to it. The 4th line is also known as the opportunist. The opportunity lies within the foundation of the 4th line person's network. So creating a network is important, and I think Wei has really done that here, as well as within her home, where she is in person. So the foundation of the 4th line is their friends, their co-workers, their home, their family, their job, and the groups that they join. Because of this, the 4th lines will often look to have a replacement lined up before moving on. And when they do move on from friends or job or location, they'll likely hold fast to at least one of these other foundational pieces while making the other transition, just like anybody with a fixed focus. For example, if they're moving to a new city, they'll probably hold tight onto friends, family until they're settled in the new city and can build the new group. I don't think she would let go of her old group either so much, the close ones. So moving forward, this is for Wei, and this Wei has written this out, and I would like to have her share what she thinks of it.
Thanks, Dawn.
There you go.
Yeah, so this whole experience is, I really feel the cross 4 and 1 because I do investigate the information a lot. So with this profile, I really like I have the fixed fate because I feel I do evolve my consciousness, but I really don't like change. So I really like this quote. You can tell the 4-1 profile anything you like, and giving enough social pressure, they will bend to flow. But within themselves, and once left alone, they will return to their fixed perspective, since that is really what their body or vehicle is about. So that's really interesting because if you see my astrology chart, I have Pluto South Node Sun in Scorpio, Moon North Node in Taurus, and Jupiter in Aquarius. So it's all fixed sign. And Jupiter is in the first house. So that's about to explore my unique path. Jupiter squares the nodes, and the resolution nodes for my skipped step is the South Node in 9th house Scorpio. So that's about investigator. So in evolutionary astrology, the resolution nodes is where you have to focus on to work first. Then the North Node in Taurus lesson would naturally unfold. So I quote from here, it says, your success and humanity's success in evolving depend on 2 things. You are here to investigate a foundation of information. I feel that strongly correlates to the Jupiter squaring nodes thing. And so make sure you're standing on the solid ground of a secure knowledge base. So that's again, I have to work on my South Node first to have a secure base. Then I can use my ability to externalize the knowledge to influence my close network of people. That's just perfectly described how my North Node in 3rd house Taurus lesson can just naturally unfold. And it's very interesting because my moon is in Taurus 4th house. Also, moon rules my DC. So it's about relationship. And in my personal experiences, like Dawn described before, I really got all my jobs through relationships. But those jobs I actually, I would say is relationship with men helped me. And I found the EA through women groups. So compare those different opportunities. I strongly feel when I'm on the right path, doing the work I'm passionate with, seems I attract women more often to help me move forward. Just to clarify, I don't mean the relationship with men are negative. I think it is at that time I was not so conscious about myself or my own past. So those relationships kind of operate at a shadow level. So what I experience is the distorted part of the Scorpio Taurus theme, like used or being used as resources. Yeah, that's what I'm sharing with this part.
Wow. Well, onward and upward, right? things have turned around by working on the Jupiter South Node resolution, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay. So this right here shows our natal and design astrology charts for Wei. This is the standard natal chart for a free house. And this is the design chart, ruling the personality, ruling the unconscious. And these are the two together in synastry. And this is laid out on 0 Aries, just like this is. So it helps to see where everything is. We've got the Sun, Pluto, Pluto right here, and here we've got the Sun, Pluto, Pluto. So it helps to have a clearer visualization of each. Wei, did you want to say something about how you experience this design chart here?
I think the moon in Capricorn actually really speak to me. I always feel like there is a masculine side of me. Yeah, I don't know how should I share it, but I just suggest people to look at their own design chart and check like the meaning of that gate. You'll discover so much about yourself. Yeah.
Well, for me, it hits on my chart, so I think that's pretty cool. Just as because we're friends and we work together on this, I think that's cool. Just to start. Right here is where this is my 8 Leo is my Mars. So, and this one, of course, hits on my chart as well. But let's move forward. So I wanted to go into those completely open centers. In Wei's chart in particular, we've got the heart center, which rules the willpower, the ego, and the material world. And we have the solar plexus as well, both totally open. And totally open, there are no gates whatsoever touched in these. So when we see that, it has even a different effect further than it just being open like the throat. So with the totally bare heart center, we have difficulty understanding worthiness, mostly as worth of self. Self-worth is a challenge with that being totally open. And this can manifest as an inconsistent self-esteem, fragility of self-esteem, and understanding personal value. This person can be open to people who will use that weaker self-esteem for their own ends, for whatever that may be. You can have professional fawners or linking up with others that want to take advantage of, if you do this, you're going to be, upping your ante, so to speak. And then also it leaves you open to wanting to stand next to somebody who shines a brighter light, who you feel, shines a brighter light, and that's not good either. That can be difficult too. So the gift in this challenge, that's the challenging side. The gift in this is that when it comes to trustworthiness, this is the most trustworthy person because they are steadfast in what they say they're going to do. They're going to do it. You can also look to their wisdom in financial affairs because they have that material world understanding. Even though there can be conditioning from others, they actually have a real understanding on what that would be, and value of relationship as well. So once they come to their gift, they have nothing to prove and they're free to live their strategy. And then on the solar plexus being completely open, because the solar plexus rules the emotional and social awareness and their personal sensitivity, when we have that totally vacant, we have no way of really filtering through emotional energy. What are these feelings coming to me? I'm feeling something. What is it? I'm not sure. And you've got to spend some time alone and kind of stew in your juices for a bit to really understand what you're feeling. And it can be difficult. With this lesser ability to interpret emotion, they may have to dig deeper just to understand their own emotions, but also others. You can have a person who has, feeling confusion and it can be interpreted as anger pretty easily because a lot of people get pretty irritated when they're confused. So those finer definitions can be a challenge. But the potential gift with this is that when left to do that, stew in your juices, with enough time, you can really learn to decipher the waves. And emotionality is a wave. It can wave in different ways, but when you come to ride it, you can realize sometimes you're really up and sometimes you're not, and you can go with it then. And you can share that with others by example. Wei, did you want to share anything about how you feel this fits in for you personally?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally related to the completely open solar plexus, because I just discovered if I spend time alone, I'm actually a very calm person, not so moody or emotional.
Mhm.
I think that's, yeah, I'm definitely learning the lesson to kind of discriminate what is others people's feeling, what is my own feeling, and trying to process the emotion without reacting, especially without reacting what others projected on me.
So good. Okay, so right here, I just want to stop for a half a second and verify. Can everybody hear everything well? Is there anything that needs to change?
You're good.
Sound great.
Great.
Pardon me?
Yep, it's going really well, and we can all hear. Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you. Okay, take it away, Wei.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with my natal sun. It's in gate 28. So each gate actually operate at different consciousness level. It's very similar to EA's idea of evolutionary state. So this gate 22, the shadow level is purposelessness. The gift is totality, and the city is immortality. Sorry. So I just quote some information from the book Gene Keys, as well as some information online. Gate 28 is the gate of the game player. It's a splenic energy that is rooted in the fear that life has no meaning or value. Gate 28 has to struggle to discover that meaning, but it has to be the correct struggle, otherwise it's meaningless. So gate 28 shows the purpose of life is hidden in deep fear. If I can face my fear, have deep trust to stay open to change, my path or true destiny will naturally unfold. I need to commit to every present moment, even though I can't really see what I'm building until it's complete. And as I am aligned with my own pace, inner truth, I will discover that everything life brings me has underlying purpose. And the feeling of fear becomes lighter when I accept it. I will have more love feeling towards life, and the meaning is life itself. So the city of immortality requires that the individual surrender him or herself into his own deepest fears, and in dying, he or she is reborn as pure consciousness. Such a being realizes their true purpose as the purpose of life itself, to live in the immortal truth of its own nature, beyond time and form. So those messages really speak so deep for me. And just to give some astrology correlation, the Pluto in the EA chart means soul's desire, and the sun is the special purpose of this lifetime, and the South Node correlates to past life self-image. Those three position or conjunct in my 9th house Scorpio, so resonate with the 28 gate. It shows this is not new for me because Pluto, Sun, and South Node are conjunct. So I'm very comfortable to face my fear and trust life to unfold. I feel human design system really complete astrology provides more tools in life. For example, as a generator, I am not supposed to initiate. I need to wait the opportunity and just recognize the right opportunity for me and respond to it. Then I will have the great energy to work and feel fulfillment. Also, my sun is in line 4 that further suggests this opportunities lies in the right relationships. As Mars in 8th house Libra, I am actually very comfortable to wait and respond. Through reaction, honoring my inner truth, life lead me to where I should be. Another thing is the Jupiter in the 1st house Aquarius squaring nodes, and the Jupiter's ruler is Uranus in 11th house. I should be open to change and embrace my unique path, because the resolution node is South Node in 9th house. So I need to trust my soul's plan and trust my intuition, trust that life has meaning. And when I commit deeply to the work I'm passionate with, the life I am living is already meaningful. I think that's really my deepest lesson of this lifetime.
I love it. That's beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so the next position is the Earth. It's in the human design system, it's gate 27. So gate 27's meaning is about nourishment, which is essential to our survival. In astrology chart, my Earth is in 3rd house Taurus. So I feel the 3rd house that speak to me, the nourishment is more on a mental level. It's abundance of knowledge. When the sun represent life purpose, Earth shows how we integrate this purpose on Earth. Earth will materialize sun's purpose practically, especially when it's in Taurus. So gate 27 is the lesson of giving and receiving. Giving from the heart can stir up unexpected cosmic force that work to your favor, activates healthy currents deep within your body. It requires detachment, discrimination, what is worth giving to whom. This detachment also means give others the support that they need, even it breaks moral codes. Gate 27 also has to do with the education and the nurturing of children. So again, there's a correlation to my natal moon in the 4th house, conjunct the 3rd house North Node. Through this kind of relationship, there is opportunity to heal my own wounds linked to nurturing. And the gate 27's gift gives off a powerful aura of trust. So I feel Taurus often gives a calm vibration, has the ability to make others feel comfortable and safe, which allows others to open themselves up for the nurturing. The city is selflessness, meaning giving and helping without self-consciousness. Love is the ultimate nourishment, so they can be giving without become depleted. So I am, as my work, I do astrology reading, and I feel the first level of the reading is to share knowledge or information, nurturing others the way they need, and providing information which are helpful to them. But I feel that the healing really comes through the acceptance, selfless supporting, and love. It is the vibration through heart which is far more powerful than just the words and analysis. So linked to the natal sun's 28 gate, It's through the right struggle, face my own fear, I have the ability to share with others and help others to accept their, I think it's help others to recognize and accept their unconscious fear, to nurture and give to others in a detached way with experiences of the struggle. Finding light through the darkness, I can be very calm, coping with life, also bring this calmness to others through my work.
Yep, that's absolutely true, and that's feeding back to the whole 4-1 dynamic, and having the fix. This gate for me sounds like a nurse. You know, yeah, like a nurse,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah. So right here, the picture shows the 33rd gate for the design sun is up in the throat, and then the 19th gate for the design, I'm pretty sure that's the design earth down here in the root chakra. So let's go look at that.
Okay, let's look at design sun is gate 33. So again, there are 3 levels of consciousness. The shadow is forgetting, and the gift mindfulness, and city is revelation. Gate 33 is a process of remembering who we truly are, how we are conditioned by unconsciousness, memories, and being held in karmic patterns. Through remembering and mindfulness, the revelation comes as flood, purify our consciousness. Revelation gradually occurs. We carry memories from life to life, and they shape our life and destiny. We create new memories or karma in each lifetime. When we are forgetting, these patterns operate at unconscious level. Like the ancients say, you are caught in a wheel of your own making, unable to remember who you truly are. Gate 33's challenge is to see through our own illusion and thus sleep through the net itself to remember who we truly are. The desire to escape the Maya begins process of awakening and unwind sanskaras. Okay, yeah. It basically, I think it just means the imprints of the past memories, which make you operate at the same, make you react the same way, thus create the same pattern over and over again.
Right.
So the karmic challenge relationship drives us to question ourselves, offer the way to pierce the veil of forgetting. That is so true, I feel. It's a relationship kind of forced me to recognize the repeating patterns and to question why this is happening. Yeah. So when we are no longer held captive by unconscious desires, fears, and reaction, we reach the level of mindfulness. We may still hide or react when triggered, but we can see ourselves doing it. We can see our patterns and the cause of suffering, and we can discover how to refine and purify our nature. No longer create new negative karma. We're awakening through self-awareness or self-remembering. When we objectively understand our karmic patterns, we can change the way we react, then unwind the patterns. This really speaks to me as first to recognize it's our soul and the soul's desires keep us reincarnating on earth, and we take total responsible for everything we experience on earth. And the next part I quote from the Gene Key book. True mindfulness occurs when you become aware that something else is beginning to look through your eyes, think through your mind, and live through your actions. This something else is a larger reality remembering itself through you, This something else is a larger reality remembering itself through us. With no direct connection to the past or future, there is now only infinite time. Mind can no longer interfere with the purity of consciousness. This is a path to look within, remember our divine nature. As revelation begins, our ego and identity as a separate being will dissolve.
Beautiful.
Again, yeah, I think this is very much like what EA says. When you're evolving to a higher consciousness, the gravity of your consciousness will slowly shifting from the ego to soul itself. Yeah, so the astrology correlation with the human design sun in Leo, and it's in my natal 7th house, squaring nodes again. So it's form a grand cross with my other planets in the chart. So relationships works as a mirror, showing me how my reaction keep me in the same pattern. To a point, I must question myself instead of blaming others. Human design sun opposite Jupiter in 1st house Aquarius also indicate developing an objective understanding of my relationship that can liberate myself from karmic pattern, past traumas, and old self-image, because the design sun also square natal moon. Through navigating, I discover my own truth. So that again, because the design sun squaring the nodes, it's not a skipped step, but I like to look the resolution node again. It's just I feel by investigating information, I do discover who I really am and discover my own truth. And the idea of who I am expanding. I started to understand the relationship of self-image and the soul, and the individual soul to the source. So gate 33, need for privacy. In the quiet moment of contemplation, valuable lessons come to the surface. Connected to the natal sun, gate 28 and the line 4. When the time is right, I can share my knowledge and understanding with others in the right community to fulfill my life purpose.
Yep. I love this. This is beautiful. So perfect.
Yeah, it's so interesting. You can tie up all the information with the astrology and give you more complete understanding, I think.
That's right. The deeper meaning. Yeah. It's good. So good.
Yeah, so lastly, we're looking at the design Earth. It's gate 19. The gift of gate 19 is sensitivity. You must first become independent from others to be highly attuned to their needs. Latent abilities to feel deeply into environment, and in particular to sense the emotional patterns and needs of others through the living auric field. Sensitivity to other realms, access information from other realms, profound connection to nature, pioneers and initiators into magical realms. So for me, spending time in nature or traveling to magic realms in dreams, those activities are the most important part of my life. The design Earth in this gate, my understanding is to bring this magic or mysterious knowledge to daily life. Also to expand mundane life, to explore and experience truth. More importantly, align with natural law in daily life. And that also correlates to the human design Earth conjunct the natal Jupiter. And back to the natal Earth, I feel through the Design Earth Gate 19 and Line 1 to study and build a foundation of creativity. Thinking and contemplating will lead to mutation of consciousness. And these goals are meaningful. The purpose can be actualized when I found the right community relationship to share my knowledge.
And here you are.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so we are just about to hit an hour, but this touches on Alice Bailey, really not too many other astrological focuses present the earth to us. Most just, brush right over it or don't even mention it at all. So I've always looked at the place of the earth, it's kind of like Pluto's polarity, so the sun's polarity. Our polarity is the sun, and it's what we project out. So because Alice Bailey covers the earth in esoteric astrology, I decided to bring that in here so that we would understand a little bit more about what the earth would mean in a chart. Interestingly, quite poetically, Wei has her personality, her natal earth is in Taurus, which is super cool. And so with the earth in Taurus, the most potent position for, I would say, the earth, but it's a potent position for dispelling the material glamour and illusions. This placement, according to Alice Bailey, reveals that one of the most essential tasks the individual has to accomplish is the creation of those forms which will be the proper instrument for the expression of the will to be. The third and fourth ray, which I have not studied rays, I read some books in the past, but I haven't studied rays, combine in this position, providing a potent and challenging life, which makes sense, right? That's your life, Wei. You have a potent and challenging life, and you're the woman for the task. This soul-centered person would be constantly involved in the process of breaking down those forms and structures which are no longer able to transmit light, which is the goal. The key word for this position would be I break down and unblock, which is what you help others do as well. So as this function characterizes one who is born with the earth in Taurus and the sun in Scorpio, it should be remembered that Venus, the exoteric ruler of the bull, is considered the higher self of the earth. The earth in Taurus helps reveal the inner truth of the spiritual reality hidden all too often within the context of terrestrial life and material forms. So with your design earth at 7 Aquarius, you would also have, as part of your unconscious, your developed sense of self-consciousness found in the life of the soul-centered Leo individual finds ample opportunity for world service when the earth is in the sign of the water bearer. This combination shows an emphasis on the mental plane. I mean, this is so poetic. It so totally fits in with everything we've just learned about your specific path. But emphasis on the mental plane, third ray planet acting as a fifth ray sign. The effects of Saturn as a co-ruler of Aquarius on the personality level, as well as its third ray connection to the earth, are also significant. And we can see that by that somewhat, being impersonal or disassociating in order to get in and help. That's truly that Saturn focus in there. And the Aquarian. This position points to the need to create those structures of mind which channel and distribute innovative concepts into the collective consciousness. And this is what you do. This is your path. This is what you are doing. The work to be undertaken in this capacity involves the loving use, Jupiter, of the concrete mind for the advancement of those ideas and principles that will bring a sense of unified wholeness to the human experience. And this is what you do, Wei. This is perfect. Now, I did get these right from mermaid-uk.net, going over the esoteric understanding of the earth, but I felt it was key here to see how that all comes together. So just closing up here, the evolution of human design, and human design is speaking to the evolutionary path of humanity. So in 1615, the cross of planning within the logic circuit began, and it's now ending, coming up here in 2027, when Pluto reaches gate 41. Now, gate 41 covers 2 Aquarius to 737 Aquarius. And I believe that, so what I've read is that it's actually the end of March 2027 when this shift begins to happen. We went from 1615 being a 7-centered body graph plan into a 9-centered plan, and having those 9 centers, it coincides with the discovery of Uranus, and it's in the ending of in the end time of the Age of Enlightenment, or the Age of Awareness, right? I don't think it's such a coincidence. I think it's meant to be together. That's why it came. That Uranus is our great awakener, and that's why we graduate that way. So due in late March, moving to the gate 41, the gate of initiation, line 6 being the transition line. It also pretty much lines up with the discovery chart of Uranus. It's 6 Aquarius 09 is where Pluto was when Uranus was discovered in the Uranus discovery chart. So to bring that all together, it's basically a time when we'll be moving from left brain, logic-based understanding, duality, or polarity would be a better way to say it, of this or that, male or female, into more of a continuum understanding, using our right brain and using our intuition a lot more strongly. So when Pluto gets there, that would be pretty much the age of Aquarius to me. Let me just read this part. When Pluto hits that specific point, it's either gate 41.6 or it's Pluto's return at 6 Aquarius 09 within the Uranus discovery chart. When it hits that point in gate 41, the gate of initiation from what I said to Aquarius, Earth's mothers, the mothers of Earth, will be giving birth to children or babies who possess this awareness, this capability of using that right brain totally, and that will be the dawning of the age of Aquarius, I would say. So that's what I have, and I think it's been really cool to hear what Wei has to say about how this all affects her life. It's been beautiful. Does anybody have questions perhaps for how Wei experienced this, or anything else in here? Those are the charts, by the way. Here's Pluto, 6-9 Aquarius in the discovery chart, 6-9 Aquarius coming up in 2027. And this is when it hits 41 in the 6th line. So here's Pluto right here at 640. Does anyone have any questions or anything to say?
No questions from me, but thank you both very much.
You're welcome.
So much detail, incredible. Thank you. Any comments or questions from any of the others?
All I can say is, wow. I mean, it's a lot, but it's fascinating.
It is, when you dig in and find your own stuff, how it ties in. I mean, just watching Wei go through this process as well, and we know each other, but we know each other not quite as deeply as, say, family members and, close friends, seeing each other daily. But you can, just with the depth that we know each other, you can see this manifesting in her life completely. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, definitely. We can see that. So we really need to wind down now. So any final comments?
What I had to say was exactly what Wanda said. Wow. That's all I can add.
Okay, thank you so much, Dawn and Wei, and thank you from all of us.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here and share this with Wei.
Thank you.
Excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, good night.